Start the show here right after this. And thank you very much to the studio band, as we do every time this Saturday. And a good Saturday evening to you. It is 5 p.m. And coming up shortly, we'll take a look at the news from ABC. That coming up at 10 past the hour. Also coming up at 5:30, we'll have sports from ABC for you. And coming up at 6 o'clock, a complete look at the news for you. Local, state, national, and international. But right now, let's take a look at the forecast, shall we? Well, overnight, partly cloudy skies. We'll have a low around 67. Looking at Sunday, it'll be partly sunny, a high around 88. Looks like it's going to be a nice day for the first day of the fair. The extended forecast, well, warm and dry Monday through Wednesday. That dries that big important part there after all that rain we had this week. Low will have to be around 73, and we'll have highs in the upper 80s to lower 90s through the rest of the week. So it looks like it's going to be a nice fair indeed. Like I said, coming about 10 after the hour, we'll have a look at, that's what we'll look at, all right. News from ABC. Right now, though, here's the Desert Rose Band for you, and I Still Believe in You on FM 101 WBCI. Hey, 482-4427 is the request line. I'm Brad Allen. I'll be glad to talk to you on the phone or get a song on for you, all right? All right. There he goes, George Jones. I'm a one-woman man on WBCI. Well, how are you doing this evening? Goodness gracious. Well, you know what? It is time now to take a look at fun at the fair. That's right. Well, hey, you join WBCI personalities in front of the WBCI tent each evening, starting Monday, and each evening next week until Friday at 5:30 p.m., for fun at the fair. Now play the game and win prizes like a $10 pink bunny from My Mother's Doll Shop, $25 gift certificate from the Fabric Place, $25 gift certificates from Modern Cleaners, $25 gift certificates from Interstate Shell, and Black & Decker cordless screwdrivers from Ace Hardware. That's all at Fun at the Fair each evening this week. That's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And I know the days of the week. I graduated high school at 5:30 in front of the WBCI tent, where personalities like myself, that is if you want to see me, will be there with all kinds of fun games for you to try, right? Right. Well, hey, coming up, well, let's see. What do we have coming up? Well, you know, the 4-H fair always comes along with a Queen contest, right? And, well, this Sunday night is the Queen contest. In fact, it's tomorrow night. And here to tell you just a little bit more about it is Melinda Nichols.
On Sunday, July 23rd, a new Sunday, July 23rd at 8 p.m. to find out who will be crowned Miss Boone County 1989.
Ooh, the suspense does kill me. You know what I'm saying? Well, hey, like I told you, if there is something you would like to hear on the radio, well, give me a call. The number is 482-4427. I'll be glad to get a song on the radio for you indeed. Well, picture if you can a small Texas town. Kenny Rogers sitting on the stoop of an old rundown saloon. Then out of nowhere came, well, 4 strangers. Now let's listen to the story now. It's Kenny Rogers' latest on FM 101 WBCI with Planet Texas. What can I say? You know, we gotta have fun. It's radio. Like I said, give me a call. 482-4427. Enjoy.
They rode like they was rangers when they came out of the sky. Ended today. Life as we knew it ended today.
Yeah, ladies from Kathy Mattea and Life as We Knew It on FM 101 WBCI. Well, it's time now to take a look at sports from ABC.
Well, it's overwhelmingly recommended by doctors. Why take a chance? Take Dramamine. Use only as directed. Related to the Grammys.
All righty. Well, yeah, that was sports for you. Hey, who knows? They were cheering for sports. What can I say? Well, like I said, Coming up, oh golly, we're about 20 minutes away from news time now. At the top of the hour, at 6 o'clock, that is, we'll have a look at local state news. Then we'll have national and international news. Then we'll have weather. And then we'll have fun, you know what I'm saying? But coming up at 6:30, though, we have Indianapolis Indians baseball. They're at Omaha, playing the Omaha Royals tonight. They've won the last 3. Hopefully they'll win tonight, make it a 4-game run, and it'll be over with, at least for the weekend, because we don't have a game on Sunday. But we do have one Monday, a doubleheader in Oklahoma. You know what I'm saying? Well, right now, though, goodness gracious, by request, it's Bailey and the Boys and Long Shot on FM 101 WBCI, your country hit station.
I'm gonna write you a letter, call you on the phone, gonna send you flowers, sing you a song.
Women are women and men are men.
Boom. That's Charlie Daniels and the Charlie Daniels Band, Uneasy Rider 88. Coming up right after this, we'll take a look at the news for you.
It's just so easy, so easy, just so easy, so easy.
We've all heard it.
This is your radio station, WBCI, Indiana. Now to the Communication Center for a complete look at the news.
Good evening to you. It is 78 degrees outside. I'll have a complete look at the weather following the news. In local news, Charles and Valley Eaton of Lebanon have been named defendants in a civil suit filed in Boone Circuit Court by a young man who says he was severely injured in a car crash that took the lives of the couple's sons, Scott and Charles. Also named in the suit is David A. Yates, who was the driver of the car that collided with the Eaton vehicle and caused Jeffrey Foster, the plaintiff, to allegedly suffer severe injuries. Yates is currently serving a prison sentence in connection with the accident. Glenn Hudson, Executive Director of the Boone County Economic Development Corporation, addressed the Lebanon Kiwanis Club on Thursday, pinpointing plans for development. Introduced by Program Chairman Brad Scott, Hudson stated that the new organization is working with all cities and towns of the county so that economic development can take into account all of the county's areas. One goal of the development is to protect the agricultural and other natural resources of the area while developing business sites. Due to past alleged zoning violations, Indy Tire, located at 406 South Patterson, has been given until August 1st to comply with the Lebanon Board of Zoning Appeals orders to bring the building up to local zoning and health standards. To comply with the orders, Indy Tire owner Ted Tubbs, that is, has agreed to purchase mosquito spray gear and larvicide if the health department would spray his facility. Heavy mosquito breeding has been noticed behind the store, but the larvicide that was purchased will eliminate the mosquitoes without harming any individual. We'll be back in just a moment to take a look at state news.
Come to
In state news, a judge has dismissed charges against a Fort Wayne pet store owner accused of illegally selling alligators and turtles that state officials contended were protected wild animals. Allen Superior Court Judge John Serbeck said there was no basis to the 2 charges against Willard A. Minnick, owner of Quality Critters Pet Store. Officers for the Indiana Department of Natural Resources filed the charges in April. An affidavit said Minnick received 3 small American alligators from Florida for scientific purposes and then sold one of them for $299 and was attempting to sell the others. A sentence prohibiting a Columbus man from marrying or fathering children for 4 years is unconstitutional, says Indiana Civil Liberties Union Executive Director Michael Lee Gradison. The sentence issued last week by Bartholomew County Superior Court Judge Chris D. Monroe also called for Michael Axum to be confined to his home, except for working hours, as punishment for dealing a small amount of cocaine. Monroe imposed a non-marriage and no children restriction out of concern that Axum was living with a 16-year-old girl. The son of a Newcastle mayor, Gerald R. Ayers, has been charged with arson in connection with a fire that heavily damaged his home last year. Gerald R. Ayers, Jr., age 30, will probably surrender at an initial court hearing, that is, in a few weeks. The fire occurred March 20th, 1988, at the son's home in Newcastle. A flammable liquid was poured in the floor of the kitchen landing. In addition, jugs of the liquid had been placed in the attic, and rags soaked in flammable liquid were wrapped around several electrical wires in the basement. According to court documents, the suspect was seen leaving the house shortly before the fire was discovered. Coming up for you, that is, in just a moment, we'll have news from ABC. Of course, that'll be national and international news. Following that, we'll take a look at the weather.
We're here at Tom Wood Toyota. If you own a...
Phone WBCI at 482-4427. WBCI News keeps you informed.
Well, turning our head towards the weather overnight, it'll be partly cloudy. We'll have a low around 67. On Sunday, then, it'll be partly sunny, a high around 88. The extended forecast, warm and dry Monday through Wednesday. Lows around 73, highs around 93. It's going to be a hot but an enjoyable fair week, so if you can get out there to the 4-H fair at the fairgrounds, I'd suggest you do. Now, just this note, join WBCI every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for the morning magazine show beginning at 9:15. This Monday's guests are Helen Snow, the Boone County Health Department, on school immunization and well baby clinic, along with Rosie Ferguson with information on home aid services. And then later in the evening, you'll want to join us out at the fairgrounds at 5:30. That's on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, because at 5:30 we'll start our Fun at the Fair, where you can win all kinds of great prizes, you know what I mean? So you want to stay tuned for that. Coming up a little bit later, we'll take a look at sports from ABC. Right now, though, it's the latest from Hank Williams Jr. and Finders Are Keepers on FM 101.